Before I was a world champion, the world title was everything for me, and I'd have took less money to fight for the world title and to kind of big money to fight for non-world title. That was the first goal, and that was the goal I set myself when I was 9 years old. And at 9 years old, you don't really understand what money is, and it always, to me, is about being the best. And now I've done that. The belts don't really mean as much now. It's more about big wins and names that I'll be remembered for in years to come when people look back at my career, meaningful fights. And if this fight was a non-title fight, it'd still be bigger than any fight I've ever had in my career. A win over Canelo Alvarez is huge, regardless of whether it's for all the belts or no belts. So the belts are nice. I say when I retire, next to my name, form with this, form with that, world champion. But this fight's huge without the belts. I think at the highest level, it's about the opponent rather than the titles. The titles are just added bonus that they're on the line, and I've worked very, very hard for many years to become world champion. I don't plan on giving them up anytime soon.
And I know this has been mentioned before as well, that there's a rematch clause in the contract. Obviously, way down the line, you're not even going to be really thinking about that. But do you think part of the reason why that is in the contract is for the commercial value, in the hope that fans can be there for a potential second fight between you two, even that it would be even bigger if you win?
Hopefully, yeah, definitely. I think regardless of who my next fight is, I've always, throughout my career, I've always wanted the biggest fight possible at that moment in time. And after this fight, I'll be exactly the same, whether that's a rematch with Canelo or anyone else. Whoever I fight, I would like fans. I think 2021, I think every boxer in the world is hoping we'll get fans back and slowly get back to normal. I've got Anthony Joshua fighting a week before me in front of 1,000 people when he's used to fighting in front of 90,000 at Wembley. And it's a shame, really. Boxing's a huge sport and it gets a good following, and to restrict it to 1,000 fans and then possibly 2,000 fans, I think slowly we can get back to normal. But as long as the fights are happening, then that's a way forward. We're lucky that we're getting the big fights still happening without crowds, but I don't think boxing will be fully the same until we've got packed out arenas again.
And when Crawler had the fight with Lomachenko, obviously there was a massive buzz around the gym, and when he was fighting Linares for the world titles and stuff like that. For you now, has there been a real shift in terms of your demeanour and mannerisms and the way you're soaking up the gym in there with sparring? Does it feel a lot different now for you?
Yeah and no. Yeah, it does. Obviously, it's a fight that excites me. It's a fight where I come to the gym every day and I know I need to be at my very best come fight night. And the fear of losing has always drove me. It's always been a massive motivation. I think I fear losing more than I enjoy winning, to be honest with you. And they're both very similar, but I'm a winner. I don't want to lose, and the thought of possibly losing is what gets me out of bed, what makes me come to the gym, what makes me work that little bit harder. And the chance of me losing at this fight are probably more than it was in my last fight or that fight before, and no, I'm fully aware of that. But it was the exact same when I fought George Groves. I was the better underdog, but deep down I knew I was capable of. I knew a good version of me beat George Groves, and I made sure a good version of me turns up. And I believe December 19 will be exactly the same. I know I need a very good version of myself, but I know a very good version of myself will turn up. And if I didn't believe I had to beat Canelo Alvarez, I wouldn't be sitting here. I wouldn't be fighting Canelo Alvarez. There was a lot of other fights on the table. I'm a world champion, so I'm in a good position. There's a lot of other fights out there. I took this fight because I believe I win, and it's a huge win for me, and it puts me beyond world level. It proves that I can compete with the elite, which is something I've always felt I'm capable
of. From his perspective, there's obviously been talk throughout the years now, ever since you guys were linked together, that you were the toughest matchup in terms of your physical attributes against his and against the opponents that he's faced before. Do you think maybe, I mean, I don't know whether you thought that he was avoiding you, but do you feel like there is just nowhere else for him to go now? There wasn't.
No, I don't think I can say he was avoiding me, because I think obviously he's fighting me now, so he won't avoid me that much. But I think if you look out his career, he's always took tough tests. He's not one of these who's picked and chose the easy option. He's been in some great fights, 2 fights with Triple G, Daniel Jacobs, Sergey Kovalev at 175. He has always chose tough fights, and I think that's why he's in the position he is and why he's ranked one of, if not the pound-for-pound fighter in the world. I just think when you've got 4 world champions in a weight, it's easy to pick the one that suits you better, and maybe he was planning on doing that, but he's chose to fight me now. He could have fought Caleb Plant, he could have fought Yildirim. He has chose to fight me, so they must see holes in me that they believe they can capitalise on. But like I said, I believe I beat him. I wouldn't have took this fight. I've been calling for this fight, not for a payday. I genuinely believe I win it. And we've got a couple more weeks left now in the gym with Joe. But training's going very well. Tactically, I feel we're getting a very spot on, and it's paying off in sparring. Little things are coming off slowly, and tactically, I just feel me on my game is very hard to beat, and I'd be very hard to beat for Canelo Alvarez.
In terms of the limited tickets on sale and stuff, are you allowed to bring family members there? What's the deal with that? Are your family?
I think I'm allowed to bring, obviously, my immediate family, my brothers, they'll be over with me. I think we all go as part of a team. But in terms of fans getting flights, and I'm not too sure. I don't really look into that side of it. I think it's similar to Saudi. I think it's going to be a bit of a nightmare to get over with the restrictions now. But the restrictions are changing week in, week out, so maybe closer to the date, possibly. But at the minute, as long as my team are there, my family are there, then it's just like another fight for me. The minute I step through the ropes, I've got a job to do, and that's win, regardless of whether there's 10 people there or 10,000.
And you obviously knew coming with this fight, and with the fights that were going to be lining up for you over the years, that the media obligations were going to be bigger and bigger, no more so than this Canelo fight. Do you embrace that now within this?
Yeah. You've got to. Listen, if I was to do nothing, I'd probably be a little bit happier. But you understand over the years, the bigger the fights you get involved in, slightly more interviews you do. And you don't just go from doing no interviews to doing 100 in a week. You have fights where you'll do about 10 and then you do 20. And you slowly just get used to it. It comes with the territory. The bigger the fight, the more the media obligation. And a lot of the interviews are the same questions, same answers. So it becomes just the norm, and it comes with it. And it's sort of, when you're doing all your media stuff, it gets you up for the fight more. It becomes a little bit more real. So yeah, over the years, when I first started off, I wasn't really the best at it, but you just get used to it. The big fights, the big media, it's all the one big package.